Oh, my lip balm is in my bag, and I'm too lazy to get out. I can see my bag. If I got up, it would take 2 steps to get to it. If I didn't get up, I could just shimmy in my chair, and I'd be able to get to it. I don't like the idea of not having lip balm on, but I like the idea less than how much of my laziness I'm gonna have to combat to get to my lip balm. Instead, here we go. Here we go. Let's shimmy. Let's shimmy. Let's shimmy. If it's not in my bag, I'm gonna be really pissed off. It is in my bag. I'm not pissed off. I guess being able to defeat your laziness is a nice kind of payoff to being lazy in the first place, I suppose. Hey everyone, it's Dinah, and first of all, wishing you all a very happy and very merry and very hopefully kind of joyous kind of holiday season, whether you celebrate Christmas or not, whether you are celebrating Christmas, whether you're able to or not, however you choose to celebrate it, if at all. Hope you are enjoying yourself today and having a positive and prosperous kind of day and everything. Hope you've all had your dinners if you've had them, and just enjoying yourselves and everything. I am full to the brim of food, which I do not take for granted at all. So had to literally waddle up the stairs after dinner and everything, and also got just a little bit of wine, what's left of my wine, to actually wash it down as well. I was wholly aware that today was also the day of this special airing, but I didn't actually catch up to it in time. So I actually have been kind of sat here, like, I think I actually managed to finally get to my room and get to my PC like once the episode is already halfway through. So I thought, okay, I'll actually just do the reaction, once the episode is over and it's still up on iPlayer and everything. So yeah, here I am. But we're here, so this is the 2023 Christmas special, Ncuti's first episode of his tenure. So I think as Christmas specials usually go, this is pretty much for the most part its own kind of standalone thing. It's not really tied like directly to his new season. So I think, this is the first proper episode we get of him after we saw his kind of 15 to 20 minute kind of run in the Giggle in the final chapter of the 60th anniversary special and everything. He did come along after 14, aka David Tennant, bi-generated into the new Doctor and everything. So yeah, so we still have like 14 kind of out there, kind of still living his own life. He's essentially kind of retired. He's no longer tormenting himself to the horrors and the perils of the universe. He settled down with Donna and the nobles, and he's with them now. He's got like a I did read somewhere he bought the house. I think apparently the house that they were at in the end wasn't the noble's house. It was actually a house that 14 that the Doctor actually bought for himself, I think. I read that somewhere. I'm not sure how authentic legit that information is, but apparently he bought the house and he invited them all for like lunch or dinner or whatever, so again, I don't know, I mean, it looks similar enough to what the noble's kind of house looks like, so I didn't really kind of think much of it, but apparently he bought a house. I think don't know if he suddenly, I mean, he has a TARDIS. I think 15 did actually split the TARDIS in two as well, so the 14 could have one to himself before he set sail for the universe of adventures waiting for him and everything. So yeah, he has his own TARDIS. He could easily magic conjure up his old Sonic. I mean, he probably still has his old Sonic as well. But I think 15 is getting a new Sonic as well. Haven't really caught any glimpses of it yet, so hopefully we'll get to see that in this episode. But we have 14 living the remainder of his life, however long that's going to be, with the nobles, and then once 14 reaches the end of his lifespan, he will then regenerate into 15. And I think the common kind of theory, if not the kind of implication, is that 15 will at some point get pulled back in his time stream to then kind of be bi-generated from 14's body and everything. So it's still the same Doctor, just kind of like regeneration via mitosis, aka bi-generation, allows both of them to coexist and everything, so one person can get the rest of their life done, and then the other person can go off to still be the Doctor that the universe and time and space needs and everything. So yeah, it should be interesting to see how they actually explore this. And I think technically speaking, this would pretty much be the soft reboot from which RTD's second era of the show will be kind of spawning from and everything. So we'll just kind of see exactly how this goes. And apparently, at least in terms of marketing and distribution on Disney Plus, Ncuti season is apparently going to be called Series 1, and even on iPlayer, I think this is actually being labelled as 2023 onwards, with the previous era having ended with Jodie in 2022. So, I mean, I'm still going to call it Series, I think, was it 14? No, I think this is Series 14. I'm still going to call it Series 14 because it's all still new to me, even if, like, this one is supposedly being called the Hooniverse and everything. So, to me, I'm still going to perceive it as that because, again, I mean, soft reboot, 2005 was essentially still a soft reboot too, so I guess it doesn't make, like, a huge amount of difference, but still, I don't know. I think I'm just going to kind of, somewhat, like, but for the most part, I think I'm just going to play it by ear and see how it goes and everything. But yeah, regardless, I think no matter what happens, I am excited as all hell for Ncuti's era and see how he performs as the Doctor and how he is as 15. See what kind of hijinks that him and Ruby Sunday will get up to. So yeah, with this being his first proper episode, Christmas special, he's also going to be meeting Ruby Sunday, his new companion, for the first time. So very excited to see how they get along and what she's like as well. So excited to see Millie Gibson joining the Hooniverse as her own character and everything, so should be an interesting kind of joyride to watch. But yeah, last time we did have the giggle, so we had the Toymaker coming back, played by Neil Patrick Harris, and he was putting London, I think presumably the world, but I think at least in classic Doctor Who fashion, only really focusing on London for the most part. But he plunged London into chaos by making everyone right about everything that they think about and everything. So then opinions were at war and people were willing to fight over it and die over it and everything. So that was that. And then we saw the return of Mel as well, the classic companion. So she was working with Unit, with Kate and with Shirley and everything as well. So it was a fun episode with the Toymaker and a fun kind of concept and everything overall. And it kind of really did do like a pretty good job of tying the 60s together and actually bringing that whole kind of saga to an end, if you will. And again, seeing David back in the TARDIS and everything was cool. Seeing him with Donna for all the episodes was pretty cool too. So yeah, it was a fun time. We did get some potentially kind of interesting little kind of hints and little kind of drops here and there for what could be explored later down the line in Ncuti's kind of future kind of seasons and further along his tenure and everything. So I'm not going to go into those right now, but we'll see how this episode rolls out, how what kind of things this one covers and what it introduces and how it kind of sets up the road to be explored further down the line. But yeah, I think for the most part, I'm just interested to see exactly how this Christmas special actually rolls around and what it has in store for us. So yeah, I guess that is pretty much all I have from the last one. So on to the 2023 Christmas special. So let's go.
Once upon a time, late on Christmas Eve, a stranger came to the church in Ruby Road.
Ruby Road.
Just before midnight, she left her daughter on the steps of the church.
Is this gonna be like
was taken in, and they named her
Ruby? I was gonna say, is this gonna be Ruby's backstory? Yeah, so she was left on Ruby Road, so planting seeds for a mystery.
Until that night, a time traveler came to call. A traveler known as the Doctor.
Okay. Keeping this intro then. Okay, it's a nice intro. It's a pretty good looking intro. So, okay. Seeing Ncuti's name in there as well. Then Millie Gibson. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay.
Ruby, named after Ruby
December
Road.
1st, 2023.
Almost 19 years ago. You were a foundling.
A foundling. Is she gonna be christened by the Mandalorians too? Is she like a celebrity now, or is her story just famous?
The reason why we make this show is to...
Is this Who Do You Think You Are? Because I know like the BBC has that show, Who Do You Think You Are? Like where they take celebrities and they try and find their kind of ancestry and everything.
To help track your...
Because I recognise this with this actress too, like Davina something?
Ruby, we can't work miracles.
Yeah, I get like Who Do You Think You Are vibes. Whoa! Whoa, is that an adipose? That's not an adipose. Those hands are wrong for an adipose. Oh, it's unplugging shit and move the coffee cup. Pulling cables.
Just the truth.
Oh, yep, okay. Oh, okay. They're fucking around with the studio and the equipment. Oh no. Oh. Oh, smacked her right on the noggin. Okay. December 22nd. Are we gonna get like a day by day leading up to Christmas or something? Oh, there he is. Damn, look at those cheekbones. Those are some mighty cheekbones. Look at those cheekbones.
I don't know. I think it's just dead.
So day by day, so every day something just happens, like something gets fucked up. The interview and the performance, and now is she at the club too? Oh damn, the doctor's at the club. Oh gosh, he looks fabulous. He looks absolutely fabulous. And he's caught Ruby's eye too. Yeah, the doctor at the club. The doctor just losing himself at the club. Yeah. And what is it? Goblins or something? Or is it like orcs or trolls?
You were just over there.
Health and safety.
Oh, psyche. He's got the psyche paper. He's got the psyche paper. Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh gosh. The tank top really accentuates his arms too. Like he's got fucking muscles. I think the doctor seems to be catching on. Ah, there he is. Oh, the leather jacket. Oh, they're gonna give him so many different styles, and I'm here for it. They're gonna give him so many different cool styles. Oh no. The snowman the size of the Michelin Man is about to pop down. Oh, is that the new Sonic? Is that the new Sonic? It looks a little bit like a Chromecast remote or something, but oh, don't stand right there, don't stand in the middle.
A pram at midnight. Really?
Oh, I love that selection.
It's my shopping.
In a pram? I mean, a pram, it's convenient, you know, size and, you know.
Name, the doctor. Occupation, not a doctor. Current status, just passing by. Employer, myself. Address, that blue box over there.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't mind, I just got some money and I would like to go home.
Oh, he is so the doctor. He is so my doctor. He is so totally my doctor. That attire. Mwah. That attire.
My sonic screwdriver just went ping.
That's the Sonic, yeah. The underside of it looks kind of like a wireless mouse, but I mean, I'm not judging. I guess it's a, you know, so. God, the leather, the tank top, the kilt, oh God, please tell me he's wearing boots. Please tell me he's wearing boots. I so badly want for him to be wearing boots as well. Christmas Eve. What's gonna go on Christmas Eve? All the shops run out of food or something? I mean, no, not everyone waits until Christmas Eve to, you know.
Police box.
Ah, the
I haven't
TARDIS.
seen one on the streets of London for 50 years.
Oh,
Don't want to see one now.
and she got bottles and eggs and okay, she had bottles in there or jars. It'd be much worse. Yeah, I mean maybe. Yeah, I think that seems like enough of a height for jars and shit to be damaged. I'm surprised she noticed the TARDIS. I remember way back when 9 or 10 mentioned like a perception filter. Like most people wouldn't really think twice and would just walk right past it. But even if you did notice, you'd be like, oh, I haven't seen those since the 50s. So.
We're having a baby.
That's Christmas ruined.
Huh.
Ruby, baby, make me a cup of tea.
Okay, hold on. 2 ticks. She was so small.
No, she took her in. She took Ruby in.
Come here.
Well, she bounced in and out of the system before she found her. Like, was she that kind of child as well?
I bet this one's all Christmassy, like Noel or Eve.
Oh, Holly.
Or Carol.
Or mistletoe.
She's called Lulu Bell.
Wow.
Oh, an absolutely terrible name.
Even mistletoe would be better than that, right?
That's
Making the place our own, because we're never going to move her.
I am not going anywhere. Shackle me to this bed. And where is my cup of tea?
we should really get you a ground floor
Cherry.
flat.
Not moving.
She loves Ruby. Yeah, if she loves anyone in the world, she loves Ruby. Yeah, Ruby and Cherry. What a pairing.
If your parents aren't on some kind of a database, we can't find them.
There's not a single trace anywhere. I mean, in the whole wide world, my mother's never left a blood sample or anything.
So she left her on the doors of the church and wiped her identity off the face of the earth.
Ruby, have you been having any bad luck recently?
What do you mean?
Oh, okay.
It all comes back to when I met you.
Hell of a coincidence.
How do we stop them?
Oh no, what are they up to now? What are they? Are they trolls? Are they just trolling her? This seems very, very trollish behaviour. Are they just trolls? Wouldn't be the first time we've explored something from fantasy. Did they kill her with a Christmas star? The tree landed star first on her. Did it go through her? Did it impale her or something? I mean, it's a star. I don't know if it would impale her, but still. She's literally right at the end of the corridor. What could be happening? Oh, she's gone. That's what could be happening. She's gone. Oh. Oh gosh. Trolls are stealing her new baby sister. Though the absolute worst bad luck she could have right now is the rope snapping. Is the rope on those... Oh, the doctor's back. Ah.
Chris is a ladder, and a ladder in the sky, and you thought, yeah, I'll give that a go, babe. They've got the baby!
Hello, Ruby Sunday. It's something right now.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Just set pretty much in the present day. Yeah.
Yep. What's the problem with hanging on? It's all the friction and the weight and the burn, so I got rid of that.
Yeah.
That's better.
High-tech gloves. Nice.
All my weight. Yo, mass and density and mavity exist in gloves.
Mavity. They're keeping Mavity. They're keeping... That's here to stay. Mavity is here to stay. At this point, I kind of love it.
They call them goblins.
Oh, it's goblins.
They like to gobble you up.
Yeah.
If not, wanna gobble up the baby.
They want to eat the baby. That's their Christmas dinner. A human baby, a newborn baby. They've got a pirate ship in the sky. This is like Treasure Planet. They got a pirate ship that just floats through the air, through the sky. Oh, he's got a new attire now too. Yeah, new shirt, new jacket. Still with the leather though. Still sticking with the leather.
Coincidence is what makes the baby tasty. That's how these goblins work.
Coincidence.
Coincidence. That's how I spotted you.
Bad luck is just negative coincidence. Yeah.
It's a brand new science for me, and I love it. The language of luck. Because what is a coincidence but a form of accident? Two things bumping together unexpectedly.
Like Clara's parents.
Why are you an expert in time-traveling goblins?
They are not time travelers. Excuse me? Time travelers are great. Like the best. Like, wow.
Having watched him as Eric F. Young, I know he's going to handle being offended with spectacular fashion. Yeah.
I spent a long, hot summer with Harry Houdini.
Oh.
Now then.
Okay.
What time were you born?
2 o'clock, 2 p.m.
Right. So.
What time is it now?
Language, tapestry, coincidence.
Oh, see him got a torch too. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. It's a peculiar design. Damn, they got a goblin band with an admittedly decent voice. Can't lie, they've got some good pipes. Yeah. Disturbing lyrics, but good pipes. Yeah. I don't know why I'm nodding along to a song about a baby being cooked and devoured. I can't stop. It's kind of catchy. It's kind of catchy. At least the rhythm is catchy. The lyrics I strongly condemn. Like big brown eyes, caramel eyes. Is that freaking Jabba the Hutt? The Goblin King is Jabba the Hutt, or at least his long-lost cousin or brother or both. Oh, they're feeding Ludobow to the Goblin King. Oh yeah, that is. He's got a mouth like a freaking Sarlacc pit. Yeah, just gonna take this baby back, thank you very much. Just gonna take her back, yeah.
Rocket Janice!
Janice? He's gonna perform for the Goblin King.
Oh, the
We've got a doctor that sings now. We've got a doctor who's like a theatre kid at heart. Oh. Did he cut another pair of ropes? Loosen another knot or something? So is it going to come apart over time? The master knot. Oh, let's go. 15 and a ruby. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. 15 and a ruby. Oh, yeah, the mass. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, Goblin King is hungry and angry. He's hungry now.
Wow.
Oh. Talk about a Christmas Eve adventure with a Time Lord.
Hi, I'm the doctor.
God, he's got such a nice smile too.
Cherry Sunday.
Cherry Sunday.
Tasty treat.
I'll see you later, Cherry. Okay?
Oh gosh, he raised her up.
Death trap. Check everything.
Toasters, kettles, ovens. Yeah, electricals. Knives. Check there's no knives lying around you could sit on.
She still keeps in touch with some of them. Lots of them. She's amazing. What about you?
I've got no one. Make sure the oven's off, yeah?
That's such a... Yeah.
Can't get a cup of tea around here, but I love Larmoni.
Has he actually been in the coffee
She get you.
She can't text you, she can't text you, she's gonna come. Oh god, they're just bickering like such.
Lulu Bell is the 33rd child I've fostered.
33, damn.
Have a look on the fridge. They're all there.
Is that a number of significance, 33?
You can wonder about your parents, but I wonder who I'd be without you.
I'm adopted.
Oh, you're a foundling, just like Ruby.
Ah, okay. Oh, they're back and they want their food. And they're in the attic, aren't they? They live in the attic. So that ship is right above them. The ship landed on them, didn't it?
Cherry, all good?
One cup of tea, Marcella, just one.
She is waiting for her tea.
Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
And the picture changed too.
The whole flat just...
The goblin's gone from the picture. That's a really weird change. Did they just get erased? Did Ruby get erased?
No. I mean your daughter Ruby.
Who's Ruby?
Yeah, Ruby's been erased. How the hell did they erase Ruby? They erased the goblins. So the goblins were never here, because then if they erased Ruby, they would have no need to come here.
Just do it now and then, that's all. 5 or 6 kids?
No,
33. All those people that never got adopted.
How many?
33. So they changed Carla's life completely.
This little brat arrives ruining my holiday. Was looking forward to it. Christmas Day, Mum's asleep by 3, and I'll be all on my own. Why would I want a daughter when I'm happy as I am?
Oh, God. She's just seen the TARDIS disappear. A police box disappearing. Yeah, the goblins took the baby. Oh, and they are wearing Christmas hats. They're goblins in Christmas hats. What's he got? Oh, the gloves, yeah. Oh, he's pulling it down. He's not climbing up, he's pulling it down. Okay. So he's still on the ground. He's still on the... Oh. Oh, he's gonna bring it crashing down. Is the ladder just not gonna break? It's wood and rope. It's not exactly indestructible. Oh, it's gonna get impaled on the spire. Oh! Oh, he impaled the Goblin King. Oh, he impaled Jabba the Hutt. Oh, and now the ship's falling apart. Yeah. Oh, it's vanishing. Catch the baby! Catch the baby! Catch the baby! Oof. Oh, the Foundling rescues the Foundling. Oh. That's the woman. Is he gonna find out who she is? Can he find out? Can he go and find her? He can't. Who are you? Oh, she likes him. Oh, saving Davina, maybe? Saving Davina. Oh, he saved Davina.
Merry Christmas, Davina McCall.
Busy man, sweetheart. You and your box of tricks.
Hallelujah, present.
Ah, finally, the long-awaited cup of tea. She's been waiting a lifetime for that tea. That's an invitation. That's basically an invitation. Hey, I've got a new series coming up. You want to join me? You want to hop along for a ride or two or like a dozen? Even Mr. Blood is like, go. I know what you see in him now. Go. Oh yeah, I have to do the typical companion sees the TARDIS for the first time. Yeah. Let it out, Ruby. Let it all out. Small blue box, big, wide room full of lights and buttons.
Good luck, Ruby.
What do you think? Bigger on the inside? Oh, there he is. With that cheeky little grin.
I'm the doctor.
Hell yeah. Oh, that is so cool. That is so good. Oh, that was fun. That was really fun. Oh, there is a mid-credit scene?
The box thing! It just vanished!
Mrs. Flood.
Never seen a TARDIS before.
Hey, I had a feeling she was going to be ominous, but what? How does Mrs. Flood know about TARDISes? How does she know it's called a TARDIS? Okay. I literally wrote her name down with a question mark, like ominous? Question mark? But she knows what a TARDIS is. She knows it's called a TARDIS. Okay, I'll start very briefly. I'll start off with Mrs. Flood very briefly because that's just fresh on my mind right now. Especially that closing line is so fresh on my mind right now. I think I know for a fact like that's going to be trending. People are going to be speculating. She did seem to have like especially I think towards the end she did seem to have some questionable kind of screen time, and I think, you know, she telling Ruby oh, he's right there, that blue box, and even right before Ruby went into, she was like, good luck, Ruby. So like she apparently knew or like had some idea of what goes on inside that blue box and the kind of steps that Ruby was about to take and what kind of a decision she was about to take if she actually went inside that box and, you know, flew off with it and with the doctor as well. So you know, either she's just like a neighbor that actually knows or sees more than she lets on, because even in the beginning I think her kind of being suspicious of Abdul kind of got passed off as like a, you know, like a neighbor being typically kind of antagonistic or having an attitude or being kind of, you know, like a certain way and everything. But I think towards the end, like her reacting to the doctor actually showed her kind of being somewhat more positive and stuff. So kind of made it feel like, oh, maybe she's actually someone to look out for. Maybe she's someone to keep an eye on. But then her closing line being directly to us as the viewers, being like, what, you never seen a TARDIS before? So okay then, okay. Put the cherry on top of her actually kind of being knowledgeable in ways that the audience never actually expected. So yeah, okay, so she knows it's called a TARDIS and she knows it is a TARDIS. I think, yeah, I feel like there's plenty of like minor and like one episode stint kind of characters who have seen the TARDIS but don't know what it actually is. They just don't know what it looks like, and they've seen what it does and everything. Whether they remember, I mean, not that it's something you forget, but then whether or not they remember it after however long after their episode and everything is a question. But with her, she knows right off the bat that it's a TARDIS, and I think, does she then know the Doctor then? Does she know it's the Doctor? Does she know he's a Time Lord? Does she know like any extent of who he is or what he is or what he's been through or what he's about to take Ruby on? Because then anyone who does know the Doctor, I feel like maybe they could even caution anyone like Ruby from going off with him, being like, you know, I know you feel like you're probably about to have the adventure of a lifetime, but bad shit also does have a tendency to happen to people who decide to be his companions, or even people who end up being his companions or anything. So I don't know, but she's just like, good luck, Ruby. So I guess that's like a kind of like a double-sided kind of, you know, choice of last words and everything. So I don't know if that means that she's going to be like a returning older character, or if she's going to be like a new character, like with old memories, or, depending on how much they're going to build this up, if they're going to build this up to being something bigger for the next season, I mean, they might have to, but then if they do, the last time I remember something even vaguely similar to this happening with Missy in season 8. Like with her, she was introduced in the first episode, but then they built her up, I think, in every episode, or like most of season 8, leading up to the finale, leading up to the reveal of her being Missy, of being the newly regenerated master and everything. Could she be the Rani as well? Because then she's another female Time Lord. I'm not sure, but I think the Rani, even in Origin, like from the first time we see her in the classics, I feel like I think she also might be someone who's been played by a female in all of her kind of on-screen appearances and everything. So could be her maybe this could be the Rani at the end of her regeneration or something, you know, after all these years have passed. If she looked different, or if this was a different regeneration, then maybe that might explain why the Doctor didn't recognize her. But then of course it's been so long since then that the Doctor would have just as much reason to not recognise them anyway. Like even back in Series 8, I think the villains back in Deep Breath, I'm pretty sure they were like the clockwork droids that David Tennant faced in his first season. So, but even then, the Doctor couldn't recognise them, and he was post-regen, so there was even more reason. But with this one, he's not post-regen, but then he is still, you know, yeah, like he's still different. So yeah, and it's been ages, it's been decades since he's you know, face the Rani and everything. So even if she is the Rani, then I don't know how they're going to cover that. With Missy, she manipulated the timeline so that Clara and the Doctor would get together and they would stay together and everything. So, you know, it would not be, I think it would not be completely out of the blue if the Rani herself wanted to manipulate the timeline to get herself close to the Doctor somehow, or maybe even actually get Ruby and the Doctor together or something. I don't know, but I'll get to that stuff later on. But Ncuti as the Doctor, I think, is just such like it's just he's such a joy to watch. He's such a joy to watch. I think like he himself, he shown so clearly enjoying and being so in love with playing the Doctor. He just kind of waltzes around in his boots, in his, you know, even in the beginning, and he's got his attire, like the tank top and like when he puts the jacket on, that's really cool. But then even just being in the tank top and the kilt, oh, that is a look. That is a fucking look. And he smashes it. See, seeing him in the club, seeing the Doctor in the club, I don't think we've gotten the Doctor in many social situations before. I think, you know, Donna's wedding in one Christmas special, and then I think another time he was on the Titanic. So I think it's always been in the past. It's always him reminiscing about the past with his then companions, with his current companions. It's never him actually. It's very rarely him actually addressing the part and actually going to a convention. I think, I mean, again, I'm not saying he doesn't go, but then I don't know, like he doesn't seem like the kind of guy who actually knows how to have fun like this. I think 11 was close away. 11 and maybe 13. 11 and 13, I feel like were as close as we got to the Doctor actually letting loose and having fun at like an actual social kind of convention or social function or something. Like all the other Doctors, I feel like they attended and they dressed the part, but then they were just like, I really don't want to be here, or like I don't know how to be fun or how to be casual or anything, so I'm just gonna dress up in a suit and tie and, you know, be formal and everything. But, you know, 13, I feel like she definitely knew how to make an appearance and make like an entrance and everything. 11 was a big dancer. He was big on dancing. He himself saw to that. Ncuti as well. He's big on dancing. I think 11's childish. 11's dancing was slightly more childish because he did literally dance with the children and then taught them moves as well. But with this one, Ncuti, he's at the club. He's with people that like his Doctor, he's with people that actually kind of somewhat look his Doctor's age and everything, even though he's a billion years old. You know, again, he still looks enough like a millennial or slightly older or something. So he's at the club with those people, and he actually knows how to get down. And he was just spinning around in his skirt and just dancing and just kind of letting his cares fly away. And you know, he actually fit in. He actually got in there. And I think even Ruby, he even caught Ruby's eye, and she just couldn't stop looking at him and admiring him and smiling and everything. So he gives off the vibe of someone who definitely knows how to, you know, how to enjoy himself and how to actually kind of when to be the Doctor and when to just be. So I feel like, you know, being able to explore more of that in the coming season and everything is going to be a really fun thing to see, seeing him actually being able to, you know, even his performance on the actual conveyor belt with Ruby on the Goblin King, like he sings. We have a Doctor who fucking sings out there. Have we ever had the Doctor sing? I don't know. I can't recall a single time any of the New Who Doctors ever sang. Like even 9 refused to dance with Rose in his season. I wish even 13 had sung, because having listened to Jodie Whittaker cover Coldplay, I know she can sing, and I would love to hear her cover more songs. Jodie Whittaker should cover more songs. So having a doctor like Ncuti actually singing in the episode as part of the actual story and actually making a performance, and even pulling Ruby into it, and even her managing to, you know, go with the flow and improv the lyrics as she goes along too. It didn't even seem unnatural. It seemed like that was totally something he could do and would do if the situation called for it. It's not like it's like he didn't force himself into it. He didn't think of it as like, okay, this is going to be terrible, it's going to be really embarrassing, but just whatever, it's going to catch attention anyway. It's like, you know, like he knew he could do it. He knew the words. He knew to sing along. He knew to adapt to the situation and everything. So, you know, it's like, I know Ncuti has done theatre. He's actually performed on stage as well before coming to TV, or maybe even between seasons on Sex Education. But then I don't know if he actually was a theatre kid growing up. But then, like, 15 seems like such a theatre kid as the Doctor. Like it's like his Doctor was a theatre kid before he became a Time Lord, or like if they had like theatre on Gallifrey or something. I don't know. He has like a flair and like an actual flamboyance and like an actual kind of vibe about him that's just so joyous and so kind of, you know, like social and like adaptable, and like he just seems like he really gets into it, and like he actually just loves being there. He loves being able to help. He loves being able to be the Doctor, you know. Yeah, he just seems so good. He seems so fucking fun. He's so fun and so gorgeous too. Like, yeah, like even like almost everyone he meets, like even Cherry and Carl, like Carla maybe, but Cherry, Mrs. Flood definitely, but then even Cherry being like, oh, who's this new friend you brought along? Like everyone he meets is instantly like attracted to him, but it's more that like it's more than just sexual. It's like, you know, it's arguably not even sexual. It's just like, oh no, you seem like a cool guy. I want to hang around with you. Like with almost every other Doctor, some of them are like curious and others are like suspicious, like who the fuck is this random stranger who just came in here? But then others are like, you know, okay, maybe this guy's like a bit of a weirdo or something, so just ignore him, maybe he'll go away. And others are like, oh, he seems like a fun fella. But with 15 it seems almost entirely like that. Like he seems to have that kind of warmth and that kind of like that kind of energy about him that's just like, yeah, I want to see more of what this guy's about and see what he can do and everything. So, and we also met Ruby Sunday. So she was named Sunday. I don't know if that comes from Carla, her mother, or if that comes from something else. I mean, her birthday falls on a Sunday now, but I think is there any guarantee her birthday on a Sunday back then? Because I think Sunday would be like the surname, right, like the family name. So then surely that would come from Carla. But then Ruby comes from Ruby, like the church on Ruby Road, which is also coincidentally the title of the episode too. So she was abandoned by her mother, or just by, most likely her mother, but also just by a woman on the doorstep of a church on Ruby Road on Christmas Eve as well. So she's a Christmas Eve baby. She was a newborn. Carla, she's also like the official version anyway, is actually, you know, kind of like has experience with fostering kids and everything. She's fostered like 33 kids and given them all a family to be a part of and given them a home. And even the pictures on the footage actually show that her kids, even if they're not there, like they've gone on to live prosperous lives. Like, so then she gave them a family, she gave them home, she gave them love, she actually gave them attention that they would have needed as children to be raised and stuff. So then they've all gone off, they've seen the world, they've gone on their own lives, but then those were lives in like nurtured by Carla. So if there's one thing I actually really loved about this episode, it's the exploration of that too, like the importance of family, the value of family, but also the fact that like biological family is not the be all and end all. Like some people are not lucky to have a biological family that actually keeps them, let alone actually treats them right or anything like that, you know. Granted, the parents can't always kind of like her mother presumably like couldn't handle her or was not exactly thrilled or like actually ready to take on the responsibility of raising a child. So then maybe that's like a fair step there for her to take. But then, yeah, I think actually being able to portray that kind of dynamic and that kind of history of actually being a part of like a healthy fostered family and actually being taken into the right environment and actually supporting that kind of like that kind of reality of like adopted families and fostered families like still being just as valid and still being like a viable path. Of course, it's still not for everyone, but you know, it is still like a path that some can take and everything. Given that we saw there was one version of Carla without Ruby. Like, I think it's like in the timeline without Ruby in her life, Carla turned out so differently. Like, that there were no kids. Like, Lulabelle still turned up, but then like all the other 32 kids were gone, including Ruby and stuff, and the house was so much more grim. Carla was broken and depressed, and she couldn't handle it and stuff. So I think it showed that with Ruby gone, things were so different. Like Carla simply wasn't interested in having children or a family or even fostering. Like, even fostering Lulabelle for like 2 days, she was already distraught and disappointed and just kind of broken by the idea of that as well. So, you know, the effect that Ruby actually had on the family was still monumental, and I think maybe if Ruby was her first, then maybe that's what encouraged her to keep going, like showed her that she could do it and stuff, and actually pushed her to do the whole 33 and everything. I mean, even then, 33 it still seems like a lot of kids to foster, but then of course, I mean, it's not 33 kids at the same time under one roof, it's 33 kids over the course of however many years and everything. So yeah, Ruby and the Doctor already had that kind of potential dynamic kind of flowing between them of like both being abandoned and then adopted, like both of them being foundlings. I think as soon as I heard that word, I did randomly associate it with the Mandalorian and everything, but I think foundling is a word in its own right with its own definition and concept and everything. So I think technically, pretty much, they are both foundlings. They were both found by, you know, people other than their own, like by families other than their own and everything, and then they were taken in and they were given a new home and everything. So the Doctor didn't really kind of go too much into any of that this episode, but I think him being a foundling and him finding Ruby, who's another foundling, and stuff as well, I think that kind of it is what drove him even more to be able to save the day. And he wasn't just saving the day, but he was also saving Ruby's life. He was saving Ruby's life. He was saving Carla and Cherry, because he saw even like he saw how dark and grim Carla's and Cherry's lives were without Ruby as well. And even actually talking to Carla too, like Carla still shedding a tear despite saying all those things and everything, and even him asking her, why are you crying and everything, because then her subconscious knows that she needs the spark that Ruby brought into her life back again. Like, Ruby made her life better, she made her life happier, she showed her she can be a great mom and everything. They're called goblins because they gobble you right up and they eat babies, and they'll happily eat anyone else that they can get their hands on too. But then they also feed them to the Goblin King, so that's another thing. But I think they weren't just altering the timeline, they were literally going back in time to that night and gobbling baby Ruby out. So I think they were also smart, so then they actually knew to go back in time to actually find out where and when Ruby was after she was born and everything, and then actually erasing her from the timeline completely. So they're very cunning. They're cunning. They're aware. They have an awareness of what they're doing and how to do and who they're doing it to, causing 12 days of Christmas curses and Christmas bad luck to Ruby for like from the first day of the month to all the way up to her birthday to Christmas Eve and everything. So they're causing bad luck all the way from like the studio equipment being fucked up to the band's performance being screwed up and everything as well, and then the snowman coming down and everything, and even finishing off Davina as well, finishing off Davina McCall with the Christmas tree before the Doctor saved her and everything. So yeah, they're cheeky. They're a cheeky bunch of bastards. So she asked him, do you have anyone? And then he was like, no, I've got no one now. And then, you know, there's like that kind of momentary silence of like she doesn't know if he's lost everyone or if he's watched everyone die or if he's what's happened. I mean, it's not half this, it's not untrue, but still, like she has no idea what's happened. And then before that silence can get any more awkward or any more kind of investigative, he moves on. So, you know, I mean, granted, I think maybe that also just wasn't the best time and place to actually sit down and have a discussion on what his entire family history's been like, but I do hope that's like the first kind of foray into her actually being naturally inquisitive and actually wanting to kind of ask more about the Doctor's life and everything. And also, like, beyond that, in order for 15 to be the way he is, 14 is meant to go through however many years of actual healing and recovery and all that kind of stuff from all the years he's been traveling ever since being the first Doctor and everything. You know, he's meant to be going through that journey of peace and somewhat of retirement and kind of healing and actually, you know, settling down and finding a place to stay, especially before he regenerates into 15 as well. So, you know, that's the whole purpose of that. That's pretty much the only reason that 15 can be as positive and as chipper and as okay as he is. But then I feel like that also doesn't really mean much if you don't get 15 to open up and talk to his companions about who he is, what he's been through, and all that kind of stuff. You know, I mean, it can be a case of like it doesn't really bother him anymore because now his previous incarnation walked through it. Like that can be maintained, but then making him less afraid to talk about it and actually less afraid to open up about it because of what 14 has been through as well. I think it is also like a really important thing to kind of maintain, and like a really important kind of consistency to maintain with Ruby's on. Actually showing him finally for once having an actual open and meaningful discussion from time to time with Ruby about different things in his life, different aspects of his life too, you know, and especially with Ruby being who she is, being like a kind of connective kind of partner for him as well, so someone not just for him to travel with, but for someone for him to connect to, so someone with like a similar life experience that he can actually relate to and everything. You know, arguably his previous companions have not had exactly the same experiences and have not actually been through exactly the same things as him. They've all had their problems and their own journeys in life and everything that the Doctor tried their best to connect to, but then Ruby is almost exactly like him. So the difference with Ruby is that we saw who left her behind. We just don't know who she is or what she looked like. We actually saw a woman in like a robe and like a cloak and a hood and everything, dropping her down on the step and actually walking away. And everything. Like we saw it, like with the Doctor, we just saw the timeless child actually standing at the bottom of like a pillar and with like a portal to another universe and everything there. And like all we saw was Tech Tae-yoon picking the child up. We actually saw who left the child there. So that's still one step above the thing we actually got for Ruby and everything. So I am curious if like Ruby's going to be like, so you're a time traveler, you've got a time machine, and I don't know who my mother is, so maybe we can pop back in time and find out who she is and, you know, why she left me, and maybe even find out if she's actually still out there today. You know, I mean, I feel like they could find out who she is if she's still alive today, but then I feel like they just can't go back in time. So then maybe like no Earth database like could actually find her, or at least like any of the Earth databases that me and McCall checked. But then the TARDIS has arguably the biggest database in the universe, so that could find anything that any other database could not. So, you know, maybe they can't go back in time, because then again, like the crossing into your own timeline thing, when 9 did that with Rose, I think things still went wrong up until she touched baby Rose, but then things just got exponentially worse when she touched baby Rose, because then that's when the Reapers were allowed in. But then even from her actually being present on her own timeline, even her being present, but then even her saving her dad too, and then I think it was her changing the timeline, it was her saving her dad that actually made things wrong. So being there was bad enough, you know, saving her dad and changing the timeline was worse, and then touching herself as a baby, or holding herself as a baby, rather, that sounds wrong, holding herself as a baby, that was like, okay, we're fucked, we're officially fucked now. So yeah, so with this one they can avoid all of that, but then yeah, I think they wouldn't even have to go back, they wouldn't have to go back in time, they could just actually look up, you know, is she still alive today, or like when did she die, or like, you know, like where did she end up, and then go back and visit her then. So I don't know, maybe could it be Mrs. Flood? I think that's a really out there question. I think that is a really out there kind of thing to ponder. Like, could it be Mrs. Flood? Could she be? I feel like she could. I feel like she could definitely be old enough to be the woman who abandoned her. Like, maybe, like, would that be completely implausible? Like if Mrs. Flood somehow found her way back to Ruby, but then she saw that Ruby's with Carla now. She's happy. She's got a new family. She actually managed to find her way, but through life, even after being abandoned by her mother and everything. But then her mother, after however many years, actually, you know, wanted to find Ruby again, wanted to find her daughter again. So maybe through some miracle she did, and then she wanted to find her again. But then she knows the TARDIS. I think, I don't know. You don't have to be a Time Lord to know about the TARDIS, because even Vinder back in last season, he knew. Like he knew what a TARDIS was, and he actually saw the inside of the TARDIS. I think you know. Yeah, so then you don't have to be a Time Lord to know about the TARDIS, but then, yeah, like, I don't know, but the fact that she does know of the TARDIS and you know, what it is and stuff, and maybe even to an extent shows that she has some other history that is being teased, obviously, but then, I don't know, I feel like it's not completely implausible that maybe she actually could be connected to Ruby somehow too, because then she's literally her next door neighbour and everything too, as well, and it has been for however many years. If she did it because she knew that one day she'd meet the Doctor, that is some insane levels of manipulating the timeline. Like maybe that's why. Maybe that's why there's no record of her mother. Because then, if it was Mrs. Flood and she's not human, or she's a Time Lord, or she's an alien of some kind, maybe that's why. Maybe she's not human, so she has no human record. you know, or maybe like I don't know, like maybe she kidnapped the baby and then wiped all traces of it so that no one would go looking for it, or maybe she actually did have the baby, or like she you know found the baby somehow, but then she didn't want to take it over. Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe she's like she's setting up the Doctor for the future. Maybe she knows the 15 needs someone, so then she's, you know, planting a baby on his path and, you know, letting go. I don't know. I feel like it's not completely implausible, so I'm gonna you know put at least a couple of my cards, not all of them. I'm gonna put at least a couple of my cards and call it right here that Mrs. Flood has some kind of connection to both the Doctor and Ruby, and she's keeping them together the same way Missy was trying to keep Clara and the Doctor together. Mrs. Flood is someone of alien origin, perhaps, trying to keep, you know, or could she be of human origin? She is an old lady, so I think, who could she be? I think, like, is it someone else from the classics? I think they brought Mel back last episode. They brought Mel back, and they brought the Toy Maker back too, so a classic companion and a classic villain too, so... And, like, even from the power of the... I feel like from the power of the Doctor onwards, they've been less and less, like, angsty or less and less kind of adverse to actually bringing back classic faces and classic stuff, you know? Like the power of the Doctor was like, we saw like a bunch of different faces and stuff like that and everything, and then we had like Tegan and Tegan and Ace even, unless they're like, you know, it's like a Big Finish character that they're bringing into something. I don't know how likely that is that they're gonna get like canonize Big Finish and bring in a face. No, I don't know. Mrs. Flood, either way, I don't know. I feel like maybe she could have a bigger part to play in this than we realise. So that interview that happened was one of the first things they showed, and that was on December 1st, and then fast forward to Christmas Eve, so she's looked almost the entire month. So, you know, I feel like maybe she didn't want to. I think she even said, "I'm sorry, it's Christmas Eve. I didn't want to disappoint you like this, and it's your birthday, so I really didn't want to disappoint you like this." But then I thought, you know, better let you know at the end of this year instead of actually leading you into the new year with this bad news. But then either way, she knows. So I don't know. But then she looked for like almost the entire month, and she couldn't find anything either. So. No mother, no father, no siblings, no connection whatsoever. So I feel like if she wasn't human, that could be a huge kind of giveaway there. Like she's not human, therefore she has no other human kind of connections on Earth, and she has no identity or record of her own for them to go off of. So then maybe, you know, either it's not a human, and it's not like not to say that humans aren't good at wiping themselves off the face of the earth and actually erasing all their identities or whatever, but then, you know, either it's Mrs. Flood and she's not human, or it's not Mrs. Flood and it's also not human. So I don't know. But I'm guessing Mrs. Flood could be a big kind of role to play there. So yeah, I don't know, maybe. And yeah, we also had Davina McCall. So we had Davina McCall. I think I knew her name was Davina. I couldn't exactly recall what her last name was. But I think, what has she been on? I think I used to grow up watching her on different shows. I think she to my knowledge, she is a presenter. She is a TV presenter, and even in this, she did essentially play herself. So she did pretty much act, maybe perhaps as she usually would. But then even what they were doing, even the interview they were doing, and even the way even when she explained it to Ruby, we can use DNA and DNA technology and all that kind of stuff to find out where a person comes from and their heritage and their ancestry and everything. And I think there's a show, I don't know if it's still on, I don't know if they ended it or what happened, but I think there used to be a show, I'm pretty sure it was on like a BBC, one of the BBC channels, maybe 1, maybe 4 or something else, I don't know, but there used to be a show called Who Do You Think You Are, where they took UK celebrities and they found out where they came from. They found out their actual ancestry and their heritage, and if they had any famous connections in their lives or what happened or anything. So I don't know if this was that, because then I thought maybe like this could be, because then they were recording it, it was in like a whole studio setup with lights and mics and people all around and everything, and it was Davina McCall too, playing Davina McCall. So clearly, for her, like it would be like an actual kind of television kind of opportunity and everything. Ruby does have enough of like an actual blank slate of a background for them to work off of, but then seems like for now that blank slate is just going to keep being blank. So like, you know, Davina and the BBC can't help Ruby, but then the Doctor and his TARDIS can. So even though they're essentially created by the same network and everything, but still, let's not get caught up on technicality. So, but you get some new Sonic, and I think the new attire makes sense. The actual new attire makes sense, but then the Sonic, I think, you know, it's a change. It looks different. I don't hate it. I mean, some people might, you know, I don't know why you would, but some people might. But then I don't hate it. I think it definitely does look a lot different to what we've had. I think for so long we've had, I think, I mean, I need to change the batteries in this thing, but, you know, for so long we've had like this kind of like a sleek kind of, you know, very screwdrivery design that you can, I mean, he can still hold it in his hand and everything, but then, you know, his looks more like, you know, his looks more like this but wider, so like a mouse that's like, you know, you press it, like you hold it like this and you press it, and then yeah, that's how it works. So like for him, it seemed, I think at first glance it looked like a like a Chromecast remote or like a TV remote or something, and then later glances it looked like he was holding like a mouse upside down. So it looks different, and different doesn't necessarily mean bad. It just, you know, especially in this context, it can just mean different. I think it looks very, very, very kind of high techy and everything. It has like a nice color scheme too, like a kind of light blue and gold to it, and it has a lot of buttons on the side that he holds it and everything. So and it's cool, and it has like a nice kind of bright kind of torch that he can use to shine into dark places and everything. So it looks cool, I guess. You know, well, once they release the toy, and of course, knowing Disney loves merch, Disney loves toys, Disney loves like selling 3 different variations of merch, all from the same character, all from the same property or anything. So don't know if they felt like they had to change it, or if maybe it was like an actual note from Disney, like, oh hey, you've had the same, you know, screwdriver like kind of structure and design and like kind of overall concept for the past 60 years. Maybe change it up a bit. Maybe make it look more like a wireless mouse this time around or something. So I don't know if Disney would make money off of that, but because, I mean, maybe because then it is still being presented on Disney Plus, and you know, if people, especially if people, audiences watching on Disney Plus, are going to see the Sonic and they're going to be like, oh, that's a cool Sonic. I actually kind of would want to take that design in as part of my collection. So then Disney would want money from that too. So maybe, you know, so Disney can suggest that, but then Russell and like BADWOLF Studios and everything can easily take it upon themselves to be like, sure, but we're still going to make it look cool, and we're still going to make it just as functional as before and everything. So hopefully they've kept the same design from 14. So 14 had some really cool upgrades like the holograms and the shields and resonating concrete and all that kind of shit. I mean, resonating concrete, that could have easily come from before, but still, you know, that one came with some cool upgrades. I still want to see him being able to make shields with this new one and using that and everything. Don't just glue that to 14 and never go back to it. I mean, sure, there might be a budget kind of thing. I mean, they should have a big budget this time around anyway, so using shields every now and then should not be the biggest hassle in the world. But yeah, overall, I think the Sonic does still look pretty nifty, and it looks like it gets the job done. It does look like it takes up more space in the pocket though, because like with this doesn't look like it takes up that, like this and designs predating it don't look like they take up much space in the pocket either. Like but like actually keeping like a mouse in your pocket, it feels like it's actually going to take up a bit of space and kind of create like a bit of a bulge and stuff in your chest and everything. But I don't know, either way, it looks fine, and it looks kind of simple enough, and it looks like it could be an interesting kind of design to see implemented in further episodes and stuff. So we've seen the Sonic fall a lot, and as I think having like a size and a shape like this, I felt like it could maybe fall through gaps a lot easier. So with that one, maybe because it's bulky and it has like a different surface area, like it could actually fall through crevices and cracks like that much less easily and stuff, you know. The song, again, the lyrics I condemn. I can say that I condemn the lyrics, but then the rhythm, it had a nice bop to it. It had a nice beat. I couldn't stop bopping. Had a nice rhythm. Had a nice tune. It was like a catchy song, and again, which is even tougher to admit and sing along to, because then it's literally a song about kids, about goblins seasoning, and you know, I don't even know if they were going to cook the baby, because then it was on a conveyor belt headed straight for the Goblin King's mouth. So seasoning and then feeding a human child to the Goblin King. So not exactly easy to sing along to in its entirety anyway. But then it was still kind of a bop. So. But yeah, I think for the most part, I think that might be all I have for now. That's pretty much all I've written down. I think I was kind of like somewhat more kind of engrossed in this episode more than I was actually taking down notes and everything. So that's something I've written down. But I think overall, again, this episode had such a feel good and, you know, like such a kind of joyous and such a kind of like, you know, like the dynamic between 50 and Ruby right off the bat from meeting alone was really fun. But then even watching Ncuti be the Doctor properly for the first time, actually being his own Doctor and actually getting to kickstart his own adventures and having the time of his life even by himself as well. He was even actually watching Ruby in the beginning, like when she was at the bar or whatever, actually performing with her friends. I think he was watching her. He had like a hat on and everything. I think he was wearing everything else was kind of the same, but then he was wearing a hat to disguise himself. So don't know if he was actually watching her knowing all that stuff. Like maybe if that happened after he actually went and rescued her, or maybe if he actually, you know, because then that seems more like he's watching her knowing who she is and actually watching her kind of with some idea, or maybe trying to find out. So, you know, maybe if like he saved her, but then before actually going back to actually check on, you know, her being kind of alive and well again in the present day, maybe then he actually did decide to kind of like drop in or something. But then like everywhere that she's been apart from Davina McCall, I think with Davina McCall he wasn't there and things were bad anyway, but then at the club, at the bar, out on the street, he was there and everything. So I guess I have to wait and see. But yeah, Ruby and 15, great dynamic, great friendship. Really can't wait to see how that kind of develops and blossoms into whatever more and everything. And of course they definitely still use this episode alone to actually plant more seeds for what's to come in the next upcoming season and everything. So very much willing and exciting to see where things kick off and where things go from here. So season 14 of Doctor Who, here we come coming 2024, and with hopefully with some answers on who Mrs. Flood is and how she knows what TARDIS is. So yeah, we'll see. So that was the 2023 Christmas special, The Church on Ruby Road. So thank you guys as always so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then feel free to leave a like and comment on what you thought of the special and what your thoughts are on Ncuti's Doctor and Ruby and their friendship together and their dynamic and what you hope to see from the next season. Any kind of theories or analysis or any kind of thoughts you have on what's to come and what you hope to see and what you think might be coming and all that good stuff. And the full-length reaction for those interested will be available over on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. But yeah, for now that is it. So once again, hope you all had a very, very Merry Christmas and like a very happy kind of holiday season, wherever you are, whoever you're with, if you're able to celebrate it, however you are celebrating it. Hope you're all staying safe and happy and just having a good, like hopefully a good end of the year, and more than that as well, hopefully you all and we all together have a better and brighter and bolder and just a more prosperous 2024 together as well. Hope your hopes and any aspirations you have for next year come true. Any plans you got, hope you stay safe for the rest of this year so that you can then go into next year, into the new year, with all those hopes and dreams and everything. And yeah, just I love you all. I love you all for being here. I love you all for supporting the channel as you always have been and as you have been doing so far. I hope that that we are working together on the channel can have a much better time than we have had this year and most of last year too. So hopefully 2024 will be better for all of us too. So yeah, here's hoping. So again, thank you so much for being here, and yeah, that is it for now. So yeah, until the next time, bye bye for now.